Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Chaos TV's North American Challenger Series number 2. Of course, here on Chaos TV, I am Reed Rapid Melton. Joining me is Daniel Egad Caruso, and well, it's been an interesting day here at NACS number 2, just because I feel like might have had some non-standard things happen. Egad, is that safe to say?
Yeah, that's very safe to say. And the lane swaps kind of threw me off a little bit, but you know, I guess they're kind of practicing, getting ready for their NACS games against vVv later on. So more power to them.
Yeah, keep in mind, in case you guys don't know what's going on as far as the North American Challenger Series that Coke Zero sponsors, it is LMQ versus vVv this Saturday, March 22nd. They'll be playing a best of 3 to advance in their brackets there in the semifinals of the spring North American Challenger Series. So a little bit of a preview, but maybe not quite as much of a preview as the teams would have liked, because of course LMQ are trying out a few different positions. Now they've swapped things up even further, and it appears that everyone but Vasily is willing to give up their role to try something a little bit new. But after maybe switching things around, could see the first break from that traditional AD carry role. It does lock in the Varus, but might be trading that away. But it's against the vVv that are trying their hearts out. This win does mean a lot to them, and I think it actually means a lot to both teams. We're just going to see how hard LMQ have to try to make this one work. Hovering over a Vayne here for Zhao Zhao. Double ADC. It's an option, but I don't think we're going to see that from LMQ.
Double ADC, I guess, but you know, Rise top already selected up there, so that's going to be a bunch of late game for them already. You know, pair it with like a Vayne mid lane or Vayne support or something cool like that. You know, get some true damage for late game. Oh, excuse me. But they already picked up the top and the bot lane duo for Tails and Gaunty. They're going for their comfort picks in Caitlyn and Thresh, so very solid lane for them. And Vasily's Varus had a bit of a better showing this time around last game.
All right, well, Varus, yeah, it's been all Varus all day for Vasily. He saw a few strong Varus performances over the weekend. I think that's safe to say. Genja had some monster games on Varus, and I don't really know anybody in North America that plays too much Varus other than maybe like Wiz Fusion, the ADC for Coast. But even they won't let him play that all that often. Vasily making it look good. Let's see what vVv come out. They've already picked up their bottom lane, so knowing what they want down there, what are their carry lanes going to be, and what do they save last for the counter pick?
I feel like they want to counter out the jungle, possibly. Maybe. They already have Kha'Zix for that, for Get Snuggled, though, if he wants to do that. Or Chris could take a top. You never know. With Rise going top, though, I think Kha'Zix is actually not too bad of a response. You can shove him out early, and you can snowball off him while he's still squishy. So that's not too bad, but, you know, Get Snuggled can take Kha'Zix to the jungle, can take a tankier jungle if he wants to. But the last 2 picks for vVv looking to be possibly that Pantheon and Morgana.
And this is actually really interesting, because after seeing both Chinese teams, the World Elite and IG, this weekend in the World Championships at IEM Katowice, it's interesting to me to see the Chinese teams there have a rough time dealing with support Morgana, but LMQ, man, they're just picking that up, and now it does look like Moore will be the champion of choice for that one. But man, if I've ever seen a big AoE wombo combo starting to set up here, we've got kind of the meta golem and a Mumu together with Morgana. This is looking to be a really strong team fight comp from LMQ. Last pick, though, coming out here from vVv, it's going to go to Chris. Up in the top lane, what does he lock down? His Riven's been banned away. His Elise has been banned out. Does he go right back to the Troll?
I feel like the Troll is something that is fun and actually, like, can scale pretty hard, as well as make, like, you know, any kind of tank just destroyed. So he could take a Mumu stats, he could take Rise's stats later on in the game, because, you know, he'll build some MR, he'll build some armor, and could work out. I think I like it. I like the idea of the Trundle, so it fits okay with their comp, and that's going to be actually the Kha'Zix jungle for Snuggled, so that's pretty cool. I like it. I like the Trundle.
Yeah, Snuggled's kind of taken a page out of I had to look through. Out of No Name's book, he's a very strong jungle Kha'Zix, but will he be jungling this time around? I don't know. It does look like for the most part, LMQ are hovering over their standard roles. So we could see the first game is best of 3 where LMQ, you know, they've tried some interesting things out. Has worked sometimes better than others, but does look like here in game number 3, they will be playing their hearts out versus vVv. And this is actually a pretty strong statement by both teams because keep in mind, they both play each other, like I said, this upcoming Saturday in NACS. So it's going to be a lot on the line here, a lot on the line there as well, and you'll be getting to see a lot of these teams playing each other. So the first of many engagements about to get underway. But as we close in on our spectator delay, we want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor. You can see it right down at the bottom of the screen. It is Esports Adventure. If you click on the link, then you'll get a bonus €5 along with the 10% sign up bonus. If you guys are interested in esports betting, you can bet on a number of esports titles as well as this very tournament itself. You can a lot of stuff that Chaos TV bettable, as well as things like NACL and North American and European LCS, GPL, and a bunch of other tournaments out there. So if that's what you're interested in, type in !bet in chat and or just click the link right down below the screen and check them out. We'll be heading to a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, it's game number 3 in this best of 5 grand final series between LMQ and vVv.
Takes my breath away. Nothing surrounding us will stay the same. And when I look into my soul, I feel something's about to change. It's growing stronger and it's taking a hold.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Chaos TV's North American Challenger Series number 2, brought to you guys by Esports Venture. We are here in the grand finals. We've been playing all week long. It's come down to this, 350 bucks on the line. It's LMQ iBUYPOWER, your team in the blue, taking on vVv Gaming in the red. And appropriate colors, appropriate scores, tied up at 1-1. It's been a while since we've seen a team take a game off of LMQ, but coming into tonight's games, things have been all evened up, and with LMQ back on their signature roles, we will see finally a giant slugfest here between both these wonderful teams.
Alright, so just a little bit of repositioning on the scoreboard for me, because finally they're back to their main roles, and this should be fun. Rise up top, starting with that Sapphire Crystal. Snuggled, gonna run into No Name. Moon was like, oh, I found a friend. And he's like, oh god, it's got claws. Snuggled, though, gonna sink them into him as Chris throws out a shuriken, not gonna connect it away Zhao, and they notice that they're in an unadvantageous position. Oh, and Peek and Wolf Sniddly gonna be coming into mid lane with the spear onto Zhao Zhao, making that do quite a bit of damage onto him. And another spear connect, so it's 2 for 2.
And a couple of things to point out. One, Peek and Wolf got his trademark Nidalee. You guys know all about Bishu and how he's a big Nidalee player. Well, Peek and Wolf pretty much just as big on that champion. Oftentimes banned away, but not in this game. So we do get to see Peek and Wolf on a big source of strength there. We got Chris on top lane, Kennen. And back when Kennen was strong, when he had like another 50 extra auto attack range before he was nerfed, that was a really strong top laner to play. But as Sustain has been nerfed in the top lane, we're going to see a lot more harass and a lot more mages come out in the top lane here, and now it's gonna be Rise for Ackerman versus Chris's Doran's Blade first Kennen.
All right, gonna get a lot of good auto attack harass off of, and it looks like he's gonna drop Ignite, look for the early all in, and it forces the flash out of Ackerman already, so the Kennen pressure early on coming into a huge effect there, doing a bunch of damage while Wei Xiao just distorts in, but Peek and Wolf when he hits level 2 will start healing off and shrugging off that damage.
Now, this isn't the 30 points in offense Kennen that we used to see guys like Ragan do in Korea. It's just a pretty standard 21-9-0. Nothing too out of the ordinary. But mid lane, though, we've got Zhao Zhao putting a lot of pain onto Peek and Wolf. Keeping him honest, but still a lot of sustain there. Should keep him in that lane for a little bit longer.
Chris up top is absolutely zoning Ackerman from getting any kind of CS, as well as just all-inning him all the time. Without flash, he can just lightning rush in and look for a stun when he hits that level 3 point. But Ackerman has to heal up eventually. He used all of his biscuits already, so very, very good spot for Chris to be in this top lane. While Snuggle finishes up the double buffs, could look for a gank up top, could look for a dive or anything crazy. I wonder when we're gonna see a Mumu gank, because you know he's kind of filtered off. People really haven't been using him too much, and no one ain't taking him into the jungle. I kind of feel like he wants to be passive and farm to 6.
Passivity from both junglers should be a little bit more standard for Mumu, just because he doesn't have super great ganks until 6, and then he just becomes a monster. So looking at him to get some early farming down. Mumu does farm a lot better than Kha'Zix, but a little bit further behind because he is not so strong early on. Gets snuggled. Already with some pressure out there on the map, but no kills yet. No successful ganks from either jungler. But pretty much the top lane being dominated here by Chris. Teleport, though, keeping Ackerman in the lane.
Still fairly even in CS, and he came back with a before 4-minute tier, so we're going to see him start stacking that up, start trying to get that before the 20-minute point if he can. Finally connects, though. He'll pull the Lantern, he'll get out before the Hail of Arrows even connect, but the Piercing Arrow comes out, and Vasily, he's been showing us a decent performance on Varus so far, so I like the new AD carry pickup. You know, we've seen for Maple Street actually play quite a bit of on Varus before, too.
Yeah, but it's been a while. It's pretty much in a Lucian-dominated meta. It's not something that you really see, just because against that pick doesn't do quite as well. A death sentence there on a Vasily. Black Shield's gonna block away all the magic damage that Caitlyn's gonna do.
Okay, and still farming away, looking to get those Spell Thief's Edge procs. He did actually pick the CS, so it kind of forced that to stop being on the passive there. Ackerman with that tier, though, can harass out. Peek and Wolf dangerously low on mana. Ignite comes out. That chain is going to connect from the auto attack from the flash, but they're going to trade 1 for 1.
I'm pretty sure Zhao Zhao could have picked up that kill without flashing under turret, or maybe not going quite so deep, but he did, and that's the price that he pays. 1 for 1. Mid lane all tied up, but I'm trying to think who won out on that. I think it's actually going to be Zhao Zhao, because he has a huge wave of minions pushing into turret that will go away. A nice flash away forced out by Chris after a nice Rune Prism. setting up nicely for that bandage toss.
Unfortunately, it did miss. We do have Get Snuggle getting pinked out. They saw him coming in from the Trappers, just they did have a ward in there from the LMQ side. So he's going to be halted off there. Ackerman is going to get some nice farm for free while Chris does go back. He doesn't have teleport, so can't really come back into that lane and catch up, as Ackerman will hit 6 way before him now because he did get to freeze that wave. And, you know, Rise, if you can freeze a lane, he's in a really good position.
Yeah, exactly. Rise is the definition of late game. Rise, Vayne, Kog'Maw, they get late and they do 1,000,000 damage, and it's really interesting to see the presence outscaling that Rise has of just outscaling his opponents, as well as a lot of strength in the early game against this big tanky top lane bruiser meta. But with a Kennen pick top, it's really going to mitigate a lot of that sort of auto attack harass pressure that a Rise would have, and you even see that indicated by Chris blowing Ackerman's flash at level 1.
Okay, so level 6 is coming into effect very soon here. Chris looking to go in, trying to get a stun off, does find one, going to get those extras auto attacks in, but the Doran's Blades seem to be kind of not working too well, as he does keep eating those overloads to the face, and the Runic Prison is just stopping him in his tracks. So this Rise matchup, Ackerman seems to be putting in quite a bit of work there, while everywhere else it looks like just, you know, with the 1-for-1s, they flash and binding. More flash before, I mean, after the binding came out, but more now going to get chased out. Destinus goes onto Vasily. They're going to drop Ignite onto Snuggle, try to pick him off. Ignite comes in from Gaunty, though. He'll find the kill on the Moor. Get bound up for his troubles, though. Going to get taken out while it looks like Ackerman took down Chris up top. Gaunty gets chased out here. One more auto attack, and Vasily finds it. And it looks like Snuggle had a flash away, while low mana Peking Wolf tried to chase in a Cougar form, but could not find anything.
Yeah, and a trap landing onto Xiao Wei Zhao. If a spear had landed, the reduced magic resistance really would have made it hurt, but taking the safe way back to lane, Xiao Wei Zhao avoids any additional harass there. Like you said, Chris really starting to maybe have a little bit of a rougher time top lane. Picks up boots, but in that ranged versus ranged matchup, not sure how that'll change it around. Primarily, it's just going to be Rise continue to stack up, probably going back now to base for that, at least components of Rod of Ages.
You can see the positioning coming in from No Name. He was like, can I steal this blue buff? Is anybody doing it? I'm not going to risk it. Don't want to go by myself. And that will actually let vVv take it and give it over to Peking Wolf while he goes to do his red buff. Will this Amumu jungle actually hand the blue buff over to Wei Zhao is the question. Does he want to use it to farm up? He's already level 6. He could probably afford to give it off. But we'll find out when he does it. And CS-wise, Vasily is ahead in this lane by quite a bit. He's going to have that 1 kill as well. He hasn't gone back to buy yet, too. He does have 2,200 gold, looking for what they're going to do. The chain does connect there onto Tails. He's going to get blown up. It's going to be more picking up that kill with the Ignite and the pool to help Black Shield and Vasily just to stop him from getting immobilized or anything crazy like that. So sneaky little gank coming in from LMQ, while double distortion, and actually it's going to be single distortion with Signal of Silence pops coming in onto Peking Wolf, but he'll just heal up and be okay.
Yeah, earlier on we saw more blow Tails' flash, and that was really instrumental in finding a follow-up kill. So even if you don't find exactly what you're looking for, you can always use the benefits to get off of that a little bit later on. So nice to see bottom lane looking strong here, and to be honest, that's been a lane that's been having some issues recently. Vasily is a great AD carry, but just sometimes gets caught out farming, and then also has some problems during the early game with some pretty strong ganks, at least in NACL. So nice to see the bottom lane really synergizing well as we get into the first game that LMQ have played tonight with their standard lane matchups and roster.
Whoa, they're looking for a stun into Ackerman, but a beautiful ultimate coming in from that Amumu. A bunch of damage comes in. It's going to be No Name finding a friend in Chris and taking him out. Looking for Snuggle, though. He just pops the stealth. He's able to get out of there. He evolved that one, so increased stealth time for him. And that ultimate from Amumu was just so good. Now they're looking for the dive and a Snuggle. He misses the banish toss, but finds the simple little headbutt, and Amumu will pick up 2 kills in that top exchange.
Man, Amumu, he keeps crying about how he has no friends. This is why you don't have any friends. You kill them all. 2 kills for No Name up in the top lane. I mean,
it's pretty dark.
It's a dark word for Amumu, man. He's all alone. But he's found a buddy there in Ackerman, so they're gonna go back to base together.
He gave his top laner some assist money, so that's pretty good. He'll pick up Spirit of the Ancient Golem, tanky, while looking for Distortion, as well as 2 of them on top of Peking Wolf, but cannot find the second pop there. So the chains will pop the first one, and yeah, just gonna be heavy burst combinations in this mid lane. Meanwhile, down bot looking for death sentences, but just can't really find it. There's another binding in onto him. The pool, the hail of arrows. Ignite comes through, an auto attack as well. Will it be enough? The piercing arrow comes out in the last tick of Ignite.
Oh my god!
We'll pick it up for more.
Vasily really is a sniper down there, sniping it out, and the last thing to ignite though, giving more of the kill. And now there's the double CC, triple CC. You got Dark Binding into Chains of Corruption, into Soul Shackles, and you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, now we had Chris coming in looking to take down Wei Zhao, but could not find it. Looking for No Name possibly now. They're still chasing him down. Chris left his home lane while snuggled. Gonna force the flash out of Vasily, pop the stealth, do a bunch of damage to him, stealth around again, trying to use that Taste Their Fear. Gets the claws, but gets bound up for his troubles. The piercing arrow comes in and he'll find the kill. Peking Wolf gonna leap forward and take him down with the takedown, as that'll be the 1-for-1, and Snuggled getting kind of outplayed. That binding was perfect from Moore. He's on point with this Morgana right now.
And this is the LMQ that we all know and love, just making crazy plays in all the lanes, and especially bottom lane. Now 5 and 2. Again, keep in mind this is against the Tails Gaunty lane that got Tails not 1 but 2 pentakills in the same game that they played earlier on last week in ACS. So they look pretty good right now, and Ackerman's just going to throw on that Unleashed Power to clear out the wave before going back. Ryze kind of suffers in the wave clear department. Kennen in the same situation, but Ryze can ult for it, whereas Kennen, I guess he can ult for it, it just won't work.
Ooh, that was actually an almost good prediction there, but now Slogo goes in 1v2, gets double distorted, and that'll be a Mumu crying all over him. Cossack's, why won't you be my friend? And then he just dies. But they do find one double distortion as well onto him with the Siggles, and a pause comes out from, I guess, the vVv side.
You know, it was probably Tails that was lagging a little bit there. Ackerman, though, did teleport bottom lane for a nice snare, making that pick on the AD carry. Gaunty does get the death sentence out, but is it far enough? Ackerman, more importantly, doesn't have the Unleashed Power for his for the move speed buff to catch up, so might be enough for the escape. It does look like everybody is unlagged and ready to go. We should hop back into the game.
All right, so the chase may be on the box. Is going to disengage that one. Moore does get around it. Could look for a chase, but a nice net over the wall for Tails. Gets him out of there. Spears coming in, connecting onto No Name. Getting chunked out just a little bit, but without ultimate, could he look for just a banish toss to fight? Because Wei Zhao could still double Signal of Silence. There's one. The chain does not connect, so the spear picks up the kill. And now Moore coming in from the side, drops the black shield onto No Name, who looks for banish toss but cannot find it. Binding, forcing out the flash, but you cannot flash the Runic Persian. Spears up the sides. Gonna scare Ackerman away, and they'll just give up the chase on Chris.
I should probably clarify that Ryze's ultimate is Desperate Power, not Unleashed Power. That, of course, belonging to Syndra. So, they're both mages, but doing things a little bit different. Mid lane, though, a lot of CC, and you can really tell this, the Ryze added to this team comp adds that sort of see hero, kill hero that back in the day, Moscow 5 were so well known for. They just find a pick, and they make it with a ton of CC. This is one of the most ridiculous crowd control teams I've ever seen. You've got a Mumu ult, Bandage Toss, Dark Binding, Soul Shackles. You're going to have a Frost Queen's Claim here not too long. And then you've got the Slow from Varus' Hail of Arrows, as well as Chains of Corruption. And they've got 2 chains from LeBlanc's, and that's Runic Prism from Ryze as well. Just a ton of lockdown, and no Mercury Treads yet completed here for vVv.
Which is actually really surprising. You think you get those a little bit earlier on. Well, the CC they have, the blue buff, gonna get stolen away by No Name. There's a chain over the wall, does connect onto an Invisible, gets snuggled, who gets double Seagulled, and the chain with the flash help pick up the kill. The DFG damage is so strong now, and it looks like without that smite, they're gonna be able to take this dragon over. And LMQ will net that one as Ackerman goes back to base to try to pick up that huge wave that Chris built up top, as he will actually be able to pick up this turret.
And while in game number 2, we actually saw the first 5 dragons go to vVv, this time around it's going to be the first one here to LMQ. And I don't know, it's looking like as soon as they head back to their normal champion rosters and positions, it's looking good for LMQ, let's put it that way. And really, I gotta give a shout out to the bottom lane of Moore and Vasily. They've had some dark days in NACS, but coming back with a very strong performance here. Really looking like everything's back to normal. Everything's good on the home front here as LMQ look to probably push down a mid lane turret, taking both side lanes and the dragon. So that is, of course, the next immediate objective left up.
Okay, and with that, the gold lead does go 6,000 in favor of LMQ. Pekin Wolf still farming up. He's 3-1 right now. Those snipes with the spears working out pretty well, as well as a nice little takedown on bot. 3-0 Amumu jungle. Haven't seen it in so long, and it's coming out strong with it, so putting it to work. Looking to see where the next Curse of the Sad Mummy is going to be, as if they set up a huge engage here, Morgana ultimate with that Amumu ultimate, setting up for a double distortion or double sigil from Wei Zhao, could pretty much just mean the instant death for multiple members of vVv.
vVv kind of getting out rotated there, not having enough pressure mid to respond to that push, which I feel like should be fairly obvious, just because, hey, it's your last outer turret. Wonder where LMQ are going to push next. Well, vVv do figure it out, and Spear lands on to Vasily. He should be able to lifesteal this back up with his Bloodthirster. Another one coming out. That one half health more. So things starting to get a little bit dangerous. And this is even before Death Cap is complete.
Chris gets blown up there by Ackerman, forced to take the Lantern back out. Destinus does not connect. Double Sigil as well as DFG onto Tails. It's going to be a bunch of damage. The Spear connects onto Vasily. Now snuggled in the back line looking for some damage. He's charging up with Piercing Arrow. Does find it into the Chris. Spear not going to connect though. Snuggled still in front of the 5-man team. He's really split off from vVv right now. He needs to be very careful and try to leap away. Goes over the Wraiths and he's still heading towards LMQ's side. But they're like, all right, we scared him off. Let's just go back to pushing down this tier 2 and sieging it up. Vasily does heal up. Spear comes out, but does not find a crucial mark in Vasily. So they'll just look for more poke from vVv's side. But LMQ will finally disengage and be like, all right, let's go spend, let's go buy, and look for another push.
And really, these spears from Pekin Wolf are kind of MVPs at stopping this push from LMQ. LMQ want to start a fight because it's a huge mass CC engage comp. It looks like they've found their engage.
Wow, that'll be Ackerman finding Gaunty. Next, they're looking for Snuggle, though. Can they get the prison is the question. He's going to be able to just stealth his way right out of there and beat that nuisance. You could see None was looking for the bandage toss into a 4. That was almost a 3-man ultimate for Curse of the Sad Mummy, too. Sad Money, yeah. Amumu just makes it rain whenever he ulties.
Oh my goodness, the legend. Also could have been Curse of the Sad Bunny, but here we go, Chris. He's going to start off the fight with a huge slicing Maelstrom, but doesn't have his on. His Hourglass goes in, goes down, and now gets snuggled. It's going to fall as Moore takes him out.
Pekin Wolf jumps over the side, tries to leap through the river. He'll run into nobody as Ackerman teleported in the back line and Tails just juked away towards blue buff side. They're going to be able to find a free push here as that was a 2 for none, and that should be a tier 2 push going down and possibly some inhibitor pressure with the turret.
Mid turret will go down, and now LMQ pushing in for, I guess we're, oh, Spear on a no-name. What should be disengaged. I don't think they're going to keep this push up because, I mean, no-name is really chunked, and they do have a lot of gold in their inventory here left to buy. You can see about 1,600 there for Vasily. He and no-name, or he and Moore rather, putting up a big performance. Moore, of course, with a little over 1,000 gold left to spend, so should be heading back here. But you can see Wei Zhao is just on the hunt.
Yeah, all right. Despite not playing or having Siffer on his team, gonna be looking to get those DFG double sigils popped off. But let's see. Pekin Wolf gonna find a pink ward here, take it down. Wei Zhao not gonna look to trade with that. That Cougar is very dangerous. Pekin Wolf seems to just keep following his opposing laner and look to get that wave pushing or stop the push that Wei Zhao is trying to initiate. Moore looking for the binding. Gets the flash of the Frostqueen's claim, and the binding connects. There's the bandage toss with the pool underneath it, and the arrow, and that'll be 2 simple auto attacks from Vasily to clean up the rest of that kill. While Pekin Wolf is just running away down bot. That was a really good chain CC there that they had from LMQ side.
And you know, I'm a big fan of like, oh my gosh, the bounce on the Pekin Wolf takes him down to below half health. Binding, double binding there onto Chris, and now just gets snuggled going in. He's gonna stealth himself up for some reduced damage, but it's bound up under his own turret. Will that be enough to keep him alive? Looks like the answer is yes. Flashes out away from Vasily. Oh my gosh, a 309 damage crit. Just hits him in the dome, crushes him down.
Tails, in the meanwhile, was trying to juke away from some burst damage from Wei Zhao. Does end up finding the kill, but now the inhibitor in the mid lane was exposed as the turret did end up falling because 4 members of LMQ were up there. So with Wei Zhao keeping too busy, we did find an inhibitor now going down to this mid lane for LMQ. And they will be able to get those super minions start bashing down that mid lane and possibly look to go for a Baron. But Pekin Wolf now going to be caught in the Curse of the Sad Mummy. He did leap. There's the Frostqueen's claim and a Riddick Prison. He flashes anyway. Now the Flay coming in from Moore does not connect, but the Death Sentence does. Looking for Moore to get out of here. No, he is not. And the auto attack from Gaunty will pick up that kill and the shutdown bonus gold. Little play from Snuggle to jump in for the Lantern and click it.
So for right now, things are maybe not coming back for vVv, but they do find a couple of nice kills. They are unfortunately going to lose a little bit more than they find, so LMQ is still looking strong as they head back to base. It's a 7-1-5 performance from Vasily, who's going to be miles ahead of Tails, but Tails does find a kill for himself there on Zhao in the bottom lane off of a nice outplay, so hey, it's definitely going to help him get back in the running. He does have that Bloodthirster, but is a little bit farther behind the Phantom Dancer, and like we said, Vasily has about 1,500 gold in his pocket.
So picks up another BF sword. Gonna be looking for the Infinity's Edge next, not going for Last Whisper because he notices that the only armor is gonna be that Zanya's Hourglass for Chris. So pretty smart buy coming in, just looking for more damage, and it's gonna hurt a lot.
But the Zanya's is a big item buy there for Chris. He may be 0-4, but he's still going to be effective at coming in there and kind of countering out the big lockdown team comp that LMQ want to run with some lockdown of his own. The only problem is that until he hits level 16, he won't be able to lock down everybody just because there aren't enough. Oh my goodness, okay, get snuggled. Gonna force out that ult there, but ult force out from Zhao too. Only difference is, of course, that Kha'Zix has a much longer cooldown. It's an 85-second cooldown there, but
Chris runs into 2 members though, and oh wow.
Yeah, that's the GG. It's 20 minutes in, and LMQ just putting down the pain and laying down the law as well. 17-6 and 5-2 in turrets. LMQ, Tiensa iBUYPOWER, will take down game number 3, and that puts them up 2-1 in this best of 5 grand final series versus vVv. We'll come back with game number 4. See if LMQ can close it out, and vVv, well, they need to stay alive. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Chaos TV's North American Challenger Series number 2 grand finals.
I see is beautiful. The wonder takes my breath away. Nothing surrounding us will stay the same. And when I look into my soul, I feel some things about to change.